kind of hard to see everybody with all the bright lights. And the ding sound, I didn't hear it earlier, so if I don't hear you, throw something at me. Or But my story is about spring camping nearly 60 years ago. And this is from my memory as a 3 to 5 year old, along with my older brother, who was a year older than I am. But way back in the early 1960s, there used to be a lot of families that went on spring camping. Can I see how many people have ever experienced spring camping? I see several hands going up. Awesome. But back in the 1960s, the only foreign transportation that we primarily had was by dog team. And so the picture that you see up there, that'd be our primary foreign transportation out to our spring camp. And often my dad would take off, load up the gear, load up stoves, camp tents, sleeping bags, pots and pans, and the dog pots and everything else. He'd make a trip out to the spring camping location, which was about 20 miles southeast of Marshall. And then on the next trip that he would make with the dog team was dragging a boat on top of the snow. But that would take probably a day to get there and some time to get back, and then he'd make another trip to come back and pick us up, which was a family of my dad being the primary driver, my mom, and then myself and my older brother, along with our other camping essentials that we need. And during that time, all we'd have, all my mom brought to the spring camp was 50 pounds of flour, some sugar, rice, coffee, tea, and a few other little essentials. One essential was the sourdough pot, and we needed that out there. And we'd leave in mid-April, and then at times we wouldn't get back until about June 10th after the ice lift on the Yukon River, which we can hear from the spring camp. And the primary reason people went on spring camping was for muskrats. People harvested muskrats in large numbers. To this day, I can't fathom harvesting 1,000 muskrats. And when we were out in camp, that's all we'd primarily eat: muskrats, dried muskrat soup, muskrat uamaktuk, every which way that my mother could possibly prepare muskrat. But you know, it's like the shrimp in the Forrest Gump movie. But it was a wonderful time to be out there. The events that have occurred through this spring reminded me a lot of what we went through out there. It was, sometimes we'd have bright sunny days, sometimes we'd have freezing cold temperatures, sometimes we'd have rain, sometimes we'd have snow. But we spent a good 30, 40 days out there, out in the middle of nowhere, along with other family members, of course. There'd be 2 or 3 family members that would accompany us. All of our meals were primarily communal. We would share amongst each other all the essentials that we'd bring, perhaps fry bread and sourdough pancakes, and of course, muskrat. But we'd be out there for a good 30, 40 days. And one time a bear came into camp. And the guys used to go out hunting in the evening, late in the evening. Whenever you take a drive down here at the boat harbor and the water that you see out there, the lakes, you can see the muskrat swimming, and their primary time that they're out is towards late evening, early morning. But the men would often go, and, you know, of course, being a 2 or 3 year old, 4 year old, being severely attached to my dad, I would bawl my eyes out and throw tantrum and fit and get on the ground and every which way, because I wanted to go with them. But they would go off and leave us at camp pretty much by ourselves, along with our mothers and our little cousins that were about the same age. And a bear came to camp. And of course, all the dogs, they were just raising a ruckus and barking and trying to break their chains. And all the ladies at camp were banging their pots and pans, and we were hollering there, every which way possible that we can scare the bear away from camp. But the trip, we'd often hear the Yukon River break up from our camp, and that was a good signal that it was time to go back to Marshall. So that would be another trip, another 20-mile trip, but this time the dogs weren't pulling us. So we get in the boat, and then we have to go over several portages in order to get to waterways, to where we can go across lakes to make it a little bit easier. And we'd have to go through several portages and finally get to the Yukon River. And then we'd be the first ones to get brought back to Marshall. Then the dogs, and then all the heavy stuff like the stove. Them stoves were like 150, 200 pounds. And all the other gear. Then we were off to summer fish camp. But it was a wonderful time to be out there. We learned a lot of lessons. We saw what we exactly live today, all the sharing that we have amongst each other, all the importance of family, all the importance of supporting each other, all the importance of working together. And I see a lot of that today, and I really, it warms the heart to see that everybody continues that culture and tradition of caring for each other, and also feeding each other and watching out for each other. Thank you very much.